So, I've come to this very strange realization, and it's kind of shaken me to my core. Um, if you're watching this video, I have a few subscribers. If you, I don't know what hashtag I'm going to use, but if you're watching this video, that means that you must be seeking out information. You must be seeking out knowledge. You must be seeking out perspective. You must be seeking out voices that are the same or is different, but you're looking. So, I applaud you, and you should applaud yourselves, because what I'm having such a huge issue with is the lack of information people are allowing themselves, because it's not connected to the way that they are interacting with the world. And the way in which they're interacting with the world is very hurtful, painful, misguided, and biased, and it's so weird. I thought that I was actually researching things, going into down rabbit holes, and I thought I was doing it because if I communicated, if I knew what I was talking about, if I knew exactly the positions and I knew the people, and I had some framework of the larger picture, then maybe conversations could be better. And I'm not saying in my other worlds that conversations have not gone better, but just recently, my best friend was like, "Oh, it was his birthday." I called him and I said, "Happy birthday to you." He was like, "Stop singing." I was like, "Happy birthday to you." You know, whatever. It's my best friend. And then he called me a Trump supporter. He was like, "Oh, you're a real Trump supporter, aren't you?" And I was like, "What the F are you talking about?" You know, it's like, first of all, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but like, so long story short, I talked to him, and I was like, "Do you know about this?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Do you know about Rene de Presta? Do you know about the APLBL? Do you know about decapitate the head? Do you know about the First Step Back? Do you know about this crime? But do you know what you're talking about?" And he's like, "No, no, 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 no." And I was like, "Wow." Same thing with my partner, my wife. Like, people are not arguing from a sense of knowledge. It's like, I don't know if you've ever done this, and I've only done this once in my life, where I thought a project was due that day, so I worked all night the next day. So I worked all night, and I did it really well, and I brought it in, and they were like, "Why do you have that? That's due next week." So then you get a whole other week to work on something. You can broaden your skills. It's like showing up to class having too much knowledge, and then having your classmates be like, "Oh, you've read forward 3 chapters already. Oh, so tell me, you actually understand?" It's like, "Oh, you must be some kind of history supporter." It's like, whoa, 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 and it's so frustrating. So pretty much, all right. So I'm kind of done, because really many things. Like, the politics of it all was not really what I was into. My thing was the problems of people interacting with other people. You guys don't know me, but really quickly, I'm a black guy. Oh, and I say I'm an American that is black. Whatever. Who cares? I'm straight. Got 2 wonderful kids. 2 boys. My wife is white, so I went to the doctor and I said, "Make my kids white." And then she looked at me. I was like, "Yeah, what? What? If there can be all these different genders and what, then I can make my kids white." I know how that sounds, and I understand it, but I also know how the country works. So I understand, but I also understand. And if you understand, maybe you do. But I don't. It was never about the politics. It was always just about the surprise of educated people and influential people talking out of their ass, and by doing so, shitting on people. That's been the issue. So now that I've realized that it doesn't really matter, that people don't have any actual vested interest in knowing with a capital KNOWING. Now that I realize that people don't actually care, and they just want to have a feeling, they want to virtue signal you, then I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. The one thing that I will give people, and this is the out. If you've made it all the way to this point in this video, and you're like, fuck yeah, I know shit. Here's your out. And first of all, if you haven't, I mean, if I understand. I'm a stay-at-home dad. My wife pays the majority of the household finances. I do the cooking, I do the cleaning. I got a sauce right here. You know what? Here, you know what? I got literally a sauce right here. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's 4 o'clock. I've pre-cut. Well, not an example, but I pre-cut the garlic bread that I'm going to make. I've washed the dishes. I handle my business. So here's my point. I understand most people are busting their ass working. And they don't have time to go super deep. They don't have time to kind of address and suss and use their knowledge and their time to figure out what is going on. Because they have to make their money. They have to work. They have to stay focused. I spoke to a person who was like teaching grad school students, and I'm like, how can you guys stay focused on art representation of sculptures during the Neolithic era when there's all this stuff going on and people are screaming and blah 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 blah, and they're like, well, you know what we do is culture, that they're the most, that what they do is the most important thing. You know, it's like they can shut themselves out from the world because what they're working on is so important. It's like that's where you get that elitist attitude where people don't understand how to be connecting. Anyway, you get a pass. You get a pass. You got to work. You got to practice your skills. You got to engage because the money, money, money. America is about money, money, money. Regardless of what you think, you know it's about money. So you get a pass. You get a pass. But you do not get to fucking say that other people are anything unless you know them personally, unless you understand them personally, because you're sounding like bigots, and it's disgusting. So just go to work, come to my channel, and I will tell you, if you ask, because I don't even think I'm... Alright, let me end this video, because it's spinning off the rails. I enjoyed the first few minutes, but now I feel like I've lost something. It might be the sauce. It's important to know what you're talking about. It's important to know if you're going to say that Covenant kid is a racist who hates women, and that small white privilege is just a simple affectation of society that Trump has dragged out from the darkness and brought it into light. I mean, first of all, in my opinion, that's good. Bring that stuff into the light. Secondly, to my main point, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're being bigots. But you get a pass if you're working. I wish this video were a little better. Go to the beginning. Go back to the beginning when it was funny. Was it ever funny?